Hello Internet, this is game 2 of the second round game against MajorBowman in the Nugget Bridge Invitational. Now, the first game, hopefully you saw the first game, uploaded yesterday. I had that game won, barring a paralysis on the same turn he used Thunderwave on me, basically. So, I was very unlucky to lose that game, but because that is the case, I felt quite good going into this game 2, really. So, you know, let's see how it plays out. Again, I lead with Lipard and Thunderous. I've led that every game in the tournament so far. So, you know, obviously it's a lead that I like. Now, this is quite interesting because the last game, I think he led with Arcanine instead of the Thunderous. The last game, I went for a Fake Tears and a Hidden Power Ice on his Virizion, and it just survived. It just missed out on the knockout. So this time I want to play it a little bit differently. I do know that this Virizion is Life Orbed and it's got Stone Edge and it can one-shot my Thunderous. Well, it can one-shot either of these Pokemon as well. So I just play this a little bit differently. There's a lot of mind games going on here. I quite enjoy these mind games. But I use Fake Out. So first time in the whole tournament that I use Fake Out. But that gets, especially with the critical hit, that gets this little bit of chip damage onto Virizion. And I go for the Swagger on his own Thunderous. So I don't know. I've said in all of these videos for the Nugget Bridge Invitational that I just really wasn't in the mood to be playing Pokemon this evening, and I just didn't really have the patience to you know, make, you know, proper moves. I guess I don't know. Like, I guess I didn't want his Thunderous moving. Going for the Swagger. Obviously there is the confusion chance. Also, Lipard would be able to threaten, well, a lot of damage with the Foul Play the next turn as well, but I don't know why I didn't just go for a Thunderbolt on there, but really, I don't think it really makes too much of a difference. You know, it's nice to put the RNG in your favour, but, you know, Swagger turn 1, there it is. I have no shame. Virizion obviously flinches with the Fake Out. His Thunderous doesn't hit itself, typical, and he hits my Thunderous, so, you know, does just over half. Now, this is interesting. Like I was saying, because this is where all these mind games come into it, and I love these mind games. Last game, I used Fake Tears and Hidden Power Ice on his Virizion. It just missed out on the KO. Now, I've got Fake Out damage on this Virizion now, so it is definitely in Hidden Power Ice range. Now, it's clearly, I don't know, I thought it was very obvious that that's what I was doing. I wanted that bit of chip damage so that I could get the knockout onto this Virizion. So what do? He protects, obviously thinking that that's what I was doing, getting the chip damage off. I predict it very nicely, and I go for the Fake Tears and the Thunderbolt on his Thunderous. I mean, his Thunderous is confused as well, so if he went for any kind of Rain Dance or maybe something of his own, then there was only a 50% chance that he was going to get that through. But yeah, nice. I'm feeling like, right, that's my, you know, that's my dominance asserted. I've got this game. I've outplayed him both these turns now, and with, you know, with the Swagger turn 1 and everything. And yeah, and I've got this game. So I clearly wasn't thinking this whole tournament, like, I don't know, I didn't have my Pokemon head on, to be honest. Like, I've made some nice plays here, but this next turn is kind of unforgivable, really, because his Virizion has just protected. It's just protected. I can Encore it, or I can make a really stupid move. It's 1 per Mega Evolves, and let's see what I do. That's right, I go for a Fake Tears and a Thunderbolt. Yeah, that was smart, wasn't it? Now, that's annoying because I don't know if he predicted me to predict him to either switch out or stay in or what. I don't know, but you know, with the Encore and everything. But I was expecting him to switch into Arcanine. I was expecting the Arcanine in the back. I was expecting him to switch out into Arcanine because I could have just Encored it very easily, and by protecting last turn, he showed me that he knew he was in -2 Hidden Power Ice range. So I should have played it safe there. I suppose if he'd switched his Arcanine in there, and if I'd gone for a Fake Tears and a Hidden Power on it, then I suppose he would have still been in quite a good position. So I guess it was a bit of a 50-50 turn, but really I should have just played it safe because I was ahead at this point. I still had all 4 Pokemon. He only had 3. I'd outplayed him, and now my overstretching prediction kicks me, really. It really kicks me, because not only does his Virizion obviously survive, it's not encored into anything, it's free to knock out my Liepard with its 100% attack, so no Stone Edge or anything here, and his Swampert is free to attack my Thundurus. Now, the game isn't over, like, by any means. I'm still in a very good position here, so, you know, I'm not, you know, feeling too down. I'm thinking, right, well, that was a bit of a stupid move. I really should have just taken care of that Virizion, but I am still in a very good position here, because he can't have the rain up now. There's no Swift Swim going on. I've got my Breloom. Well, I'll say I'm in a good position. It basically comes down to a speed tie. I've got the choice here of risking the speed tie to close combat his Virizion and, like, Spore the Swampert or whatever, or I can Mach Punch the Virizion and potentially lose Terrakion to an attack, or lose my Breloom's Focus Sash. Now, I'm actually not in a very good position here, am I? So I'm not. I'm really not in a good position at all. So I basically risk the speed tie, and I suppose this is a reflection as well of my mindset going into this tournament and going into this game. I've said it so many times now. I just did not have the patience to play Pokemon today. You know, on this Saturday, a couple of weekends ago when we played this tournament. He withdraws his Virizion there for some reason, obviously for the Intimidate, but he maybe could have kept his Virizion in there, risking the speed tie, because if he won the speed tie, then he won the game there and then. But he gets the Intimidate. I do risk the speed tie, so I do get this close combat off onto the Arcanine, which, let's pay attention to the damage because it's important, does about 40%. Now, let's remember that, it does about 40%. I get the defense drops, which is, you know, inevitable, and I Spore the Swampert. If it was a Jolly Swampert, then that was a speed tie, but I'm absolutely certain that is not a Jolly Swampert. And so it goes to sleep. Now, we are both intimidated, and so we're not going to be doing as much damage, and this Swampert can potentially wake up this next turn, so I'm still not in the greatest of positions. Terrakion has got Rock Slide, though, obviously, so I can, you know, start potentially flinching my opponent here. Go for the Rock Slide. Does a nice chunk to the Arcanine. The Arcanine is faster than Breloom, so that is good information as well. Some Arcanine are slower than Breloom, but this one's faster. And gets to burn me. Obviously doesn't go for a flamethrower because he knows that I've got the Focus Sash, and there's not really any mileage of him doing that, because I'll just be around the next turn. Get 3 seeds off onto the Swampert, and it stays asleep, so that worked out perfectly for me. Now, this is where things... this is such a terrible game. This really is. This is where things really just sort of fall apart for me. I don't know what was going on in my mind here. Like, I'm pretty sure I thought I'd won the game at this point. Like, and I pretty much have won the game, haven't I? Because Breloom's faster than the Swampert, and I can knock it out. And Terrakion is faster than the Arcanine, and I can knock that out. He has got the Virizion in the back, which speed ties with Terrakion, and maybe because Breloom is burnt, maybe a Mach Punch won't knock it out. I mean, I can't remember how much it had. I think it had about sort of 30%, so I'm sure a Mach Punch wouldn't knock it out. So maybe the game isn't certainly won yet, but I'm feeling really good, and I guess my brain just switched off, because, let's see, this next turn. For some reason, yeah, okay, so here's the sleep. For some reason, I go for a Rock Tomb here. Now, I saw an Arcanine, and, you know, we all know that Arcanine is a Fire type, and you really want to hit Fire types with Rock type moves and all, but I don't know what I was thinking here, because if I just thought about it like I did, like Terrakion can, you know, close combat the Arcanine, and Breloom can Bullet Seed the Swampert, then I've won the game. I mean, maybe, okay, if he brought the Virizion in, then maybe not, but close combat, maybe I didn't want the attack drops. Maybe, for some reason, I thought, well, Arcanine, Terrakion is intimidated, maybe a -1 close combat wouldn't knock the Arcanine out, but it would. We saw it did 40% earlier. I go for the Rock Tomb, which I think, I'm playing it smart, it's more accurate than Rock Slide, obviously. Rock Tomb is 95% accurate. You can see where this is going, can't you? No, Rock Tomb is 95% accurate, and I've never missed a Rock Tomb in an important situation before. Never. I have now. Rock Tomb misses the Arcanine. So, okay, I should have close combated there. That is the first thing to take away from this move. But even so, 5% is really, really, really unlucky. That is... I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought to myself, well, it could happen as I put the move through. I didn't think it actually would happen because there's only a 5% chance. But, you get the idea. So... the last game against MajorBowman, I lose because of the full paralysis on the turn. I got paralyzed. That was a 25% chance. That was pretty unfortunate. This, although it could have been helped by using close combat, is still pretty unfortunate. I'm kicking myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm still really kicking myself for not going for that close combat here, because it would have won me the game. But unfortunately, he avoids. His Arcanine is faster than Brilliant, so he can knock it out. And, that's the end of the game, basically, because he knocked my Brilliant out. So, that's it. Next game, go for the Rock Slide. I need to hope for some flinches, basically. I mean, the game isn't lost just yet. I just need lots of flinches and to win a couple of speed ties, which is asking a lot, really. Swampert does wake up, but flinches this turn. So he's down to his last two Pokemon, which is, these two. Yeah, so a burnt Mach Punch might not have knocked that out even still. So, the game wasn't, 100% lost for him at that point, a few turns back. But, why didn't I just close combat it? I won this speed tie. I hit both my Pokemon, both of my opponent's Pokemon. But I don't flinch them, and that's the end of the game. So... Like I keep saying, I mean, I suppose it's half excuse, it's half just, honesty, really. I really was not patient in this tournament at all, because I lost this second game. That pushed me out of the tournament, basically. It's annoying because I did get unlucky in the last game with the paralysis. I got unlucky in this game with the 5%, miss chance, although I could have close combated there. This Nugget Bridge Invitational is one of my favourite tournaments to play in, really, because you are against people that are, good. They've played through the Nugget Bridge circuit the whole year, so they know what they're doing. And they got a really good record as well in this tournament. 2 years ago in 2013, I lost to the eventual champion in the semi-finals. I came third in that tournament. I won the whole thing last year and, won the $500 myself. I thought that I had a pretty good chance going into this. I was, obviously went positive at Worlds with this team. I still felt really good with it. I could have won both of these games. You saw what happened in them, and I was pretty confident to go at least into, the semi-final of the Invitational again this year. But, that's Pokemon. This is what happens. This is why some people say it's not a competitive game, but, as long as there are people competitive at it, as long as people are competing, of course it's a competitive game. So, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's a wonderful game, even when stuff like this happens to you. But, that's unfortunately the end of the Invitational for me this year. I didn't get a bye in the first round in the Invitational this year because I didn't play any tournament games in the Nugget Bridge circuit, just because I didn't really have time. I just banked on my invite from winning the Invitational last year. So this Nugget Bridge circuit coming up, I think there might be a few Nugget Bridge circuit games done on Showdown, which would be a little bit different. Maybe I might have time for them. But it just depends if I've got time or not, if I'm going to play in them, because I do want to play in the Invitational next year. And obviously there's a chance to win the money. But it's just the pride and everything. So I want to be the first double Invitational champion, because it's definitely a tournament that I think I can do again. But I'll start waffling. I'll try and stop wobbling as well. But thanks for watching this, guys. I hope you've enjoyed my run, even though it was a bit of a short one. Hope you enjoyed my commentary. Thanks to Bjorn for recording these with his capture card as well. It's always nice to see some capture card stuff on my channel, isn't it? Again, if you liked it, please like the video, press that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, share the video. It does really help me out. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, and goodbye for now. Ciao.